Good morning and welcome to Morning News. My name is Safwa Buahine. Coming up, arrested protesters in the Galamsey must stop demonstration expected to appear in court today. Meanwhile, their lawyers say they do not know the whereabouts of their clients. NDC urges CSOs and other stakeholders to also mount pressure on the Electoral Commission to audit the voters' register due to numerous anomalies detected. Also coming up, Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, threatens yet another strike from next week following government's failure to implement earlier agreed recommendations. And all right, now the details. Lawyers tasked to provide legal services for protesters of the Galamsey must stop demonstration are unable to locate their clients more than 48 hours after they were arrested. They are demanding answers from the Ghana Police Service. A statement issued by the police confirmed it was holding as many as 42 protesters for allegedly engaging in various acts of lawlessness. Prince Ganaku, a legal practitioner with the group Lawyers for Protest Defense, says the police has been evasive on giving them information about their clients who are expected to be in court today. He says they do not even know which courts the arrested protesters will appear at.
From our experience last year, we knew that they were going to be spread across. So we knew that there were certain police stations. We knew Adabraka, cantonments, Accra Central, Nima. So we knew to go to all of these places. Now, the strategy of the police has been to spread them as far as possible. So it's been one person per police station. So given that there are 42 persons, it means that if the strategy is one per police station, then it means that they're going to basically spread them all across Accra. I'm getting reports that there are certain people at Ayi Mensa and as far as Ibri, and then going towards Kaswa as well. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we have been in contact with the Deputy Regional Commander of the police in Accra, and as well as the Regional Crime Officer. The feedback we got was that they intend to put the arrested persons before court tomorrow. We haven't been told what the charges are. We asked for a list of the stations and a list of the persons that have been arrested and a list of the stations that they have been taken to. Unfortunately, the police are telling us that we should roam Accra and find them. They cannot give us a list of the people who have been arrested, and they will not give us a list of the stations where they are at. Tomorrow, these people will be put before court, and many of them will not have had the opportunity to speak to counsel for us to sort of advise on the way forward or even strategize on how we are going to, present the case for bail tomorrow.
The National Democratic Congress, NDC, says it does not trust the Electoral Commission to deliver a free and fair election this year. According to the party, the EC has lost its reliability and credibility, describing its posturing as biased and full of self-interest. At a meeting with civil society organizations and groups, the NDC once again made a strong case for an independent audit of the 2024 voter register.
The National Democratic Congress observes that over 240,000 previous voter transfers were added to the 2024 provisional voter register, which has resulted in repetition of transferred names. Among other observations, the NDC has identified corrupt files where certain names are not matching with their corresponding photos, as well as names that are absent from the voter register list. These are among some of the things that the party has submitted to the Electoral Commission, upon which it is demanding for an independent forensic audit of the voter register.
We want a forensic audit of the register, and not just the register, but its IT system. We need to note this. We told them, look, you lack capacity. Bring in UNDP and let them provide technical support. They never worked on that.
Among other things, the NDC is saying that the Electoral Commission currently lacks credibility and reliability. And this is one of the key reasons for which the party says it has lost trust in the Electoral Commission's ability to deliver a free, fair, and transparent elections this year.
Do you expect us to trust the EC? We cannot trust the EC. Trust depends on reliability and credibility. If you look at the trust equation, the numerator has reliability and credibility. Very, very strong points there. They have also damaged their credibility by allowing BVR kits to be stolen under CCTV surveillance. How can we rely on them with all the arithmetic errors that we have seen?
And so what? The way forward for the NDC is that voter register audit now, and it is asking the Electoral Commission to make itself available for this exercise to be undertaken.
Electoral Commission has clenched. They are holding on. But what they are holding on, like barbed wires, they should unclench. It will hurt them. So they should unclench. Because we want to identify the root causes of the avoidable errors. We want to identify the scale of the problem. We want to diagnose the IT vulnerabilities, including late activation of the liveliness test. Was it deliberate? Well planned? They should convene stakeholders, political parties, CSOs, ECOWAS, AU, UNDP, EU, USAID, the British High Commission, and others for collaboration.
Paying financial compensation for enslaved Africans is at the top of the agenda for African leaders attending this year's UN General Assembly in New York. President Akufo-Addo told world leaders that Africa would not relent on its demand for financial reparations over a trade that sold millions of Africans into slavery. He was speaking at an event organized by UNESCO to advocate for reparation settlement on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in the United States.
We're looking at the exercise of reparations for this set of events. It's something that is encompassing more than just money. We're looking at it as also an instrument for development and for restating the dignity of the African peoples. We know that the exercise involving reparations is not going to be straightforward and easy, but it is extremely important that we begin. And hopefully, as a result of what took place in Accra, the reparations conference, now that we have the commitment of the African Union in its entirety to the process, that we're going to see something very concrete and worthwhile. We're working very closely with our colleagues from CARICOM. Happy to see the Jamaican Prime Minister here, because obviously all of us, both sides of the Atlantic, have a common interest in being able to drive this process to a positive conclusion.
The Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, will this morning meet government over the unpaid salaries arrears. This will be the 43rd meeting in 2 years between the parties over the same issues related to better working conditions. CTAG has threatened to resume its strike next week if the government fails to take immediate steps to fully implement the arbitral award and improved conditions of service. The intended action, according to CTAG, has been necessitated by the government's feet dragging in complying with the roadmap agreed on with government in August. Dr. Dominic Owusu is CTAG spokesperson.
The timeline, we should have received the offline migration data, and then also we should have gotten our appointment letter by now. But as I speak to you, we have not received the offline migration data, neither have we received our appointment letter. So what we are saying is that the government will go to sleep and leave us to be working and killing ourselves, then we have no choice than to lay down our tools once again. Tomorrow, God willing, our national executive officers are meeting the government agencies, i.e. Fair Wages and Salary Commission, Ministry of Finance, among others. But you will not believe this has been the 43rd meeting we are attending on our condition of service since 2021. So it tells you that government is not committed to teacher education, and you and I know that teacher education is the bedrock, the foundation upon which our educational system is built.
Members of the Ghana Psychology Association are advocating for the allocation of the 1% COVID-19 levy to fund mental health services. President of the association, Dr. Collins Bedu Ajiman, says the funds generated will help to redress the funding gap affecting their operation.
The implementation of the COVID-19 health recovery levy was announced in the presentation of the 2021 budget by then Acting Minister of Finance, Osei Mensah-Bonsu. Its purpose was to provide substantial support to the health sector following the outbreak of the pandemic. It was intended to generate additional revenue to employ a higher number of healthcare workers across the country, as well as finance the construction of new health facilities and the deployment of vaccines nationwide. But calls for its removal have intensified, especially after the World Health Organization declared an end to the pandemic. The Ghana Psychology Association has reiterated its stance for the 1% COVID-19 levy to be changed into a mental health levy as a step towards improving mental health management.
Indeed, there is still a huge treatment gap when it comes to mental health. And I think we all need to support. And we have advocated for more funding. And you heard what we said, that the 1% COVID-19 levy should be rather converted to 1% mental health levy. And that certainly will rake in some support for mental health initiatives in Ghana. And among other things we have mentioned, we should consider introducing mental health studies or psychological studies at the junior high school or secondary school level.
President of the association, Dr. Collins Ajiman, again lamented on the increasing number of mental health issues among the youth.
A lot of youth are given to behavioral addiction, abuse and misuse of the internet, betting everywhere. Students are using their fees, they are using their hostel fees to bet, and unfortunately it doesn't go their way. From our clinical practitioners' perspective, a lot are burning out, a lot are even becoming suicidal simply because it didn't go their way. And I think behavioral addiction is something that we need to prioritize.
As part of their week celebration, the association urged the general public to prioritize their mental health.
Deputy Attorney General Alfred Tuah was or has warned that the Plea Bargaining Act will not be used as a tool to evade justice. Speaking at capacity training for prosecuting attorneys, Tuah asserted that plea bargaining will not be used to shield criminals.
Plea bargaining refers to the practice of negotiating an agreement between prosecution and accused persons where the individual pleads guilty to an offense for more lenient sentencing. While launching guidelines for the administration of plea bargaining, Deputy Attorney General Alfred Tuah issued a warning that it will not be used to evade justice.
If there is a financial crime and you are ready to go by the terms of the act and your offer is acceptable to us, then we can enter into that kind of arrangement. But that also does not mean that if, for example, you've stolen 1 million Ghana cedis and you want to refund 2 million Ghana cedis, automatically we must accept that offer. At times, we may not accept depending on the facts of the case. We may say, even though we want to pay, we will not take the money. We want to go through full trial so that at the end of the day, if you are convicted and you are sentenced to prison, it will serve as a lesson to others.
Director of Public Prosecution Yvonne Atakra Obobisa impresses upon prosecuting attorneys to be circumspect in their roles, especially during the election year.
As a nation, we are faced with serious challenges. and our office deals with these challenges too. The challenges we are faced with play out as the offences are committed by accused persons and suspects, and we are called upon to advise various law enforcement agencies on the best way forward.
The media capacity training themed Empowering State Attorneys and Navigating Priorities and Overcoming Challenges is part of an exercise to sharpen the skills of state prosecutors.
The Subri River at Nkrofol in the Elembele district of the Western region is facing severe consequences due to illegal mining activities. This river holds historical significance, being closely tied to Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's legacy. Unfortunately, the once thriving waterway has lost its former glory. There is more in the following report.
Located mere meters from Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's mausoleum lies the Subri River. Once a thriving tourism destination and vital water source for Nkrofol community, this historic river, deeply connected to Dr. Nkrumah's legacy, has tragically lost its allure due to devastating illegal mining activities. 75-year-old Mary Nyameche speaks about the history and how helpful the Subri River was to the community.
This water was revered for its purity and spiritual significance, attracting tourists who sought its blessings for fertility and prosperity. Unfortunately, illegal mining has rendered it unusable, stripping our community of a cherished resource and cultural heritage.
But now, all this glory is gone. Christopher Tani, a resident of Nkrofol, reveals these illegal miners deceive them that they are dredging the river.
We were misled into believing that the dredging was for our benefit, but it turned out to be galamsey. We are now paying the price.
The once thriving Subri River, a lifeline for Nkrofol residents, has become a shadow of itself. The community now struggles to access potable water, forcing them to rely on wells with numerous challenges.
They have destroyed the once potable water, serving the entire community with galamsey. So if you have any questions, please ask the chief and his elders. Our only other source of water is this well. We pay 30 pesos for this bucket. So if you don't have money, what will you do?
The tour guide of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's mausoleum, Stephen Tando, is calling on authorities to address the dire situation facing the Subri River and the mausoleum surroundings. Tando's plea highlights the urgent need for intervention to restore the river's glory and ensure the mausoleum's upkeep.
A lot of people have heard about this river, and people even relate it to have some of the features of the Jordan River. So people traveling so far to come to the museum, sometimes you even end the first phase of the tour and they'll ask you that they want to see, or they've heard about the river, so they want to see it. And right now, illegal miners have polluted the river, and it has become so much concern. We want it to be developed. At least the river, they can do much better thing around the river than allowing illegal miners to pollute the river.
Currently, all indications suggest that illegal mining activities are severely impacting Ghana's water bodies and environment. Until urgent action is taken, communities like Nkrofol will continue to bear the brunt of water challenges. Irama Smith, TV3 News, Nkrofol.
Well, this brings us to the end of this morning's news. Right after this break, New Day continues. Do not go anywhere. My name is Safa Abwahine, and do have a lovely day.